So we're going to make a farm today.
So it is about that time to take up this tarp and start planning out our beds and getting some of the compost over here into 30-inch wide by 25-foot long beds. So it's going to take me quite a bit. Oh my goodness. All right, it's time to get to work. No messing around.
So we're going to make a farm today.
Oh, how are we going to do that?
We have trees here, and we have to put a fence on.
Right.
And we put the tarp on first.
Yeah. But I just took off the tarp, didn't I?
Yeah, and then it die, these grass die, and then
And what do we got to put on top of this grass so we can grow things?
so we're going to make a farm.
We are, but we need to put all that soil over here, right? Compost.
Yeah, and we're going to put some animals in here and grow some food so I can eat them.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to sell some food at our house.
Yeah, and at the farmer's market? Oh, man, you got it all figured out.
Okay.
Did you ever wonder what happens to the grass if you cover it with a tarp for like 8 months? And then this is what happens. It looks like that. It looks like dead grass, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we're going to put the soil on and then put a farm on it.
Yeah, we're gonna put some seeds in that soil, right?
Yep.
Give me a thumbs up. Ooh. Are you gonna use it to help? Go ahead.
I'm going to be in the video.
Yep, you can be in the video too. Just rake it that way. Yeah, like that.
So I do have somewhat of a plan here. I have 40 feet wide by 100 feet long. That's how big this plot area is. And I can fit 12 rows across at 25 feet. I'm doing 25 feet rows, and I'm trying to do one row of 12 rows of that 25-foot beds, and then do a second row of 25-foot beds. And then I should have about 40 some feet left at the back that I'm going to do cover crops and some other things for growing food for our chickens, and just kind of bringing some life back into the soil, which actually looks really good after having that tarp on it for the last 8 months. So far I got 3 rows done, and I got 8 scoops of compost delivered. And I'm hoping it will get me at least this first 12 rows of 25-foot beds done. But we'll see how we do. We're doing good so far. So this is what happens after you tarp your grass for about 8 or 9 months. You get a lot of dead grass, and it just rained You can just see it kind of just comes right up, and you have the subsoil right there. I mean, it's soft, it feels spongy when you walk on it. It feels kind of like a sponge. That's how it felt when I took the tarp off for the first time. But it's very dark. I want to do a soil test and send it in and see exactly what nutrients are in the soil and what is lacking, so I know what kind of amendments to add when I am amending the beds before I plant and after I crop out certain things. Behind me here, I just planted a bunch of cover crops. I planted a field pea and oats mix, and I also planted some millet, which I'm doing that on the back half of this field. This is 100 feet long, so it's kind of on the back 35-40 feet. And what I'm gonna do, why I'm doing that, is because I'm not gonna be growing food for market back there this year. I'm thinking for next year. And I also, even though I'm not using it, I want to improve the soil health here, which looks pretty good, but it can always get better. So those cover crops will create kind of a better subsoil there. The peas and the oats and the millet, they all add something to the soil. All right, just want to do a quick huddle up farm break. So we ended up getting like a gift from God. I was thinking that I could use some mulch to mulch these pathways in between the beds. And sure enough, the very next day, my neighbor has a whole truck bed full of mulch that is a little too rough. He didn't like it very much and just wanted to get rid of it. So free mulch for me, the best kind of mulch. So I'm mulching these pathways, and it already looks really nice. We're competing with weeds already. I hope it's not just this compost that we ordered, but there's so much weeds. This whole bed is full of weed seeds that have germinated. So I ended up getting another smaller silage tarp. I got a 15 feet wide by 25 foot silage tarp that can cover 5 beds at once. So I'm gonna end up using that to cover 5 beds, and I guess there'll be the next 5 beds that I plant in, and I'll give that silage tarp a chance to kill all the weed seeds that I'm competing with right now. But the mulch looks good. Farm is looking good. Got 3 rows planted already. Lettuce, Swiss chard, and some sugar snap peas, and got some more that needs to be planted. But first, got to get all this finished, and yeah. So this here is that 15 by 25 foot silage tarp that I have covering 5 beds right there. And I actually have a little bit of that's all that I had left in that weed fabric roll. I have covering another row here, and that's to smother the weeds, that pesky weeds that just won't stop growing. I'll see. This is literally all these little weeds all the way down, just keep coming up. So I'm gonna try to smother them with this tarp. And in this row here is gonna be my first tray of Salanova lettuce. And this stuff just grew perfect. This is a 200 cell tray I got from Bootstrap Farmer, and trying to make things as easy as possible for me, as this is like my first year of trying to, grow food and sell it at market. 200 cell tray is perfect for me planting this lettuce in a 25-foot bed at 6-inch spacings. With this 200 cell tray, I have exactly 200 cells to transplant to fill this entire 25-foot bed, which is awesome. So that makes it really easy. And I'm working on succession planting, and I have a couple other Salanova lettuces that I've been planting every week and that I plan to plant to start a tray every single week for an entire 20 weeks of, well, I plan to sell for 20 weeks. at the farmer's market. So that's the plan anyway. And yeah, one more thing I want to show. So up there is those first 12 rows, and back here is where the next 12 rows will go behind those. And as a hedgerow, I decided to I have a line coming down all of little sunflowers, and this line goes all the way across, 40 feet across, and then back up the side there. So these will be essentially like a hedgerow to mark the end of our growing space basically for this year, and I think it'll look really pretty. I got 4 varieties from Johnny Seeds. They're all of the Pro Cut series, so they don't they're somehow pollenless sunflowers, so you know, for cut flowers they won't drop pollen all over your kitchen table, which is, I guess, cool for people who have really bad allergies. The kinds I got, one is called White Knight. It's a white sunflower. I got another called Plum, one that's orange, and one that I believe it's called Gold Light or Gold. It's a golden colored sunflower. So I just got those 4 varieties. I got about 1,000 seeds. So I planted 200. I did those in a 200 cell tray as well. And I want to do a couple succession plantings of sunflowers too. So I have a nice amount of sunflowers to pick all season long. So yeah. I almost forgot, back here in our little chicken tractor, we have our 4 Easter eggers, actually Americanas. So I've been moving, of course they won't come into the light, it might be hard to see, but what's cool about these 4 is that they're all different colors. Their feathers are a little bit different. One of them is white, one of them has brown feathers, almost orangey brown, one of them is a lighter gray, and one of them is a darker gray. So we can actually give these guys a name because we could actually tell them apart. Our other chickens are all the same colors. We have 4 Rhode Island Reds and 4 White Leghorns, so it's hard to name them when they all look the same, hard to tell them apart. These guys we can, and hopefully they'll give us nice healthy eggs sometime in August. So yeah, we got that going for us as well, and they're also tilling up some of this land that I might plant on next year, depending on yeah, I'm not even thinking about next year yet, but bringing back some fertility to the land here. So very excited about everything we got going on. That's going to wrap up this video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. This is our first official farm tour of the year, and there'll be plenty more. So subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. All right, you're on.
So this crash tag really, when we put the tarp on, and the grass died really, and the grass died really, and then when we put the tarp on the grass, it really died. So we're going to put soil on it, and we're going to plant some things for the animals. So we're going to sell them so other people can eat them.
Very good.
Is the farm yet? Is the farm done yet?
What do you think?
I think it's really done.
You think it's really done? Well, you're a farm girl, you would know, right?